Hey everybody, AZ Badfish here. Welcome back to PrimeCraft Season 2. I'm out here at Spawn Island, just converting some concrete into, well, some concrete powder into some concrete. And I think I've got enough here. It's, what is that, like 8 stacks? Yeah, 8 stacks. So it probably looks a little different since the last time we were out here. But let me run and sleep, because yeah, I have not actually been out to the Spawn Island since we left. I always meant to come back and do stuff that other people have done, but like grow some trees, leave a box of some boats. But yeah, as you can see here, we've got a villager breeder out here, and I think Skoozi built this, so thanks a lot, man, for helping us out. We're going to be using these villagers, of which there are a lot, if we run over here. There's a lot of villagers in here, and we are going to be using them to populate our iron farms, which is what I'm out here doing. we're going to be building some iron farms today, and I've already kind of mapped out where they're going to go. At the ends of all of these and on the corners there is a piece of gray concrete, and that's just going to mark out the corner of one of the single village iron farms. We're not going to be doing anything super crazy. We're going to be building several of these single village iron farms, but yeah, we're not building a Titan or Tango's got a new one he calls Phoenix or any of these resetting villager things, because yeah, we're building them out in spawn chunks so that they will run all the time without us. So I don't think we're really going to need anything super crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and grab this stuff. Now, these gray blocks, this is measured out pretty on purpose, right? So there's 70 blocks between each of these gray concrete ones. So you need to build these things about 64 blocks apart. I like to do 70 just to be on the safe side, because if they're too close, the villages overlap with each other, and that causes all kinds of problems. The thing will stop working, and blah, blah, blah. Stuff that you guys probably already know. So what I'm going to be doing here, go ahead and get rid of that. Do I want to use that? I think that'll be okay for now, because this is going to be the outside wall, kind of. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is where the corner of our 2x2 platform is going to be. Like this. All right. So this is where the golems are going to fall through. Now, I've built these on camera before. I've built some actually towards the end of last season. So it's probably not been that long, and this is pretty simple stuff. So we're just going to come out one, although I believe that is correct. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this is going to be the wall. So that's great. We can leave those there for now, because we're going to we can tear them out later, maybe. All right. So what I've done is I've kind of come up with an idea to maybe make these look something sort of like an iron block, which is why I've got all this white concrete here. So we're going to come out, and this is going to be, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect, because this is going to be the wall. So I'm going to basically build this in big strips of white and gray, and I think it's not going to look amazing up close, I suppose. And honestly, you're not going to see much of it anyways, because for the most part, you're just going to be hanging out on this island. You know, you pop through the portal, you'll go to the chest, grab a bunch of iron, and then bounce back out, because that's really all there is to do over here. So yeah, that's going to be fine. And of course, you know, the ones that are up in the sky, which we're going to be building as well, you'll be able to see the pattern. And I think it'll be far enough away that it'll look kind of neat. But, you know, I figured why build it just out of stone brick when I've got all kinds of other stuff to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this first platform in place, and then I'll come back to you guys. All right, so platform's in place, and as you can see, it's vaguely inspired by an iron block. So the next thing we're going to do is actually build up these walls a bit more so that they are 3 tall. Ooh, actually 3 tall in the corner here, and then 1, 2, 3, put 1 here. Yeah. And then we're actually they are gonna be 3 tall, but we're gonna make them 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have a white ring in the middle just to make it look a little better. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll put there, and then you'll see what this is for in a second. Alright, so the 3 tall walls are in place, and I got the white ring at the top with these stone brick separators. And what those are for is so that we can take our doors, because as you know, this is an iron farm, so we're going to need doors. And we can just put them along these corners here in between what's going to be stone brick pillars. Like this. And then we're going to come in and fill in the spaces between these pillars with more concrete, just to make it look kind of cool. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Oh no, give me that back. Alright, so we'll not do that. We'll go ahead and grab our doors again. And you might notice I'm not filling up the doors on either side like some people do, and that's because it's kind of a waste of material. It doesn't really help you a whole lot. You only need 21 doors, excuse me, in order to spawn an iron golem. 21 doors and 10 villagers. So when you fill up one whole side, with doors, you're not going to be able to spawn golems faster. Maybe a little bit, I suppose, but realistically, it's not going to make that much of a difference. I'd rather save on what happened here. That was interesting. I'd rather save the wood than the point 2 extra golems per hour or whatever it might equal out to be. So I just do it like this, and as an added bonus, it basically forces the game to have all 4 corners of your iron farm loaded in order to spawn an iron golem. That way you will always get the golem spawned in the middle of your section here. So we'll go ahead and build that up and then keep moving along here. And there. So then we're going to cap this off with a ring of stone brick. Okay, so now that that is in place, we can start on the second spawning pad here, and that is going to go right at this level here. So we are just going to do the same pattern we have down there, and we're going to do it up here. Alright, so the second platform is in place, and it looks a lot like the first one, so no big surprises there. Now what we're going to do is get the water in place. So I'm going to remove these torches real quick, and then we're going to have to kind of do, I don't want to say finagling, but we're going to have to be very specific with how we put this water in, because if we do it wrong, we'll end up with a big solid pool up here, and that's not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this little V shape in all the corners. Whoa, run over here, grab this corner, and then run up here, do this corner. 2, 3, like that. And then we're going to take our water bucket, put the first one right there. Go ahead and grab the other one. And then the second one is going to start right here. And then the third one is going to go here, and from there on, I can just grab and go. As I'm sure y'all are probably used to. So Once we start getting close, we'll come put it up here. And then keep moving along. And make sure that our last one is right there. So that should be perfect. It's going to take it right up to the edge, and we don't have to worry about any of this, any signs or anything like that. So we can just kind of continue on this pattern. And then I'm going to have to do the same thing underneath. Of course, before you go underneath, you're probably going to want to slab up the exposed blocks here, just so that you don't get any spawns over here. As the last thing you want is mobs in your iron farm. Especially up here, like as if it's a zombie, it could spawn and drop into your villager pods, which we haven't built yet. Of course, I like to cover mine up just in case. I'm pretty paranoid when it comes to my build, stuff like this. I try to take as many precautions as I can to make sure that I don't lose any villagers. So, yeah, hopefully we can just basically set it and forget it. Oops. Oh man, are you kidding me? That was a whole stack of slabs. This is going to take a lot more material than I thought it was going to. as is usual. Okay, so that's all slabbed up, and now we can hop on down, or ender pearl on down, and get to work on the inside. Alright, so now the inside platform is done as well, and that is pretty great. So, the only other thing we've got left to do in here is we've actually got to build up our villager platform. So we need to get on the outside of this guy, probably like this. Go ahead and seal that back up. And I believe we want the platform to be, well, obviously right in the middle, and then at the same level as the doors. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, wait. I lost my count. Alright, let's add a marker then, huh? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. And okay, good. So what we can do is have this like that. Go ahead and remove this. And remove this. We can take out that and that. We'll go ahead and grab our stone brick. Come out like this. And you know what? I kind of want to put glass right here. So let's go grab some glass out of a shulker box that I don't have out yet. Haha, pro. So, and we're just going to build 1, 2 like this all the way around. And for now, we'll leave the main part open, but we'll go ahead and slab the top. So our villagers are going to hang out right in here, and they are going to be nice and safe. No monsters spawning in there. And, of course, once they're... actually, we'll go ahead and put them like that. And then once they're in there, we will go ahead and cover the top with slabs just to be double sure. So, I guess the only thing left to do really is to kind of continue this pattern along. And I think we'll need one. You know, we don't actually need them on every side. No, I think we do. We do need them on every side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add more pods on all 4 sides here. Well, I guess on the 3 remaining sides. Alright, so there's the first single village iron farm all done. Just hanging out here by itself. I think it looks alright. I think it looks okay. And yeah, if we were to put villagers in each of these pods so that we had 10 villagers, so like 2 and 3, and then 2 and then 3 on the far one, we would be spawning golems in here. Of course, there's not a kill chamber or anything like that yet, and I just realized that might be too close to this villager breeder. I might have just broken it. Not sure about that. Not sure about that. If it is broken, it's not that big a deal. We can move them and have a villager breeder somewhere else, which is fine. This was really just here to start building them up. We're gonna need a lot more villagers than what's in there, anyways. So I guess the next thing to do is just build a whole bunch more of these. Okay, so good news, bad news time. The good news is that now it's the next day for me, actually, but the good news is that I've now got 8 single village iron farms all in place. They're all done, and they're all 70 blocks apart from each other, so that shouldn't be a problem. The bad news is these guys don't appear to be breeding anymore. And I mentioned earlier, as I'm sure you guys remember, that this might be too close, and I had said that if we need to, we can move the breeder. And after thinking about that for about 30 seconds, I realized how ridiculous that is, right? Because all I should have to do is remove these doors. Now, it could just be they don't have enough food. I did only really feed them once while I was out here, so maybe I can do that again once all of this wheat has grown. But yeah, until then, we'll just hold off, I guess, until the farms are completely done. And as I said, the single village iron farms are in place, but not really, right? There's stuff missing. Obviously, there's no villagers in them, and there's nothing to kill the golems or collect the iron. So that's something we're going to be doing. And I've been putting some thought to that as well. There's a couple options. We could just run some hoppers everywhere, but the fact is, I don't think that I have enough iron to make all the hoppers I would need. I don't know how many that would be, but I guess I could kind of figure it out. It would be about 70 right here, 70 over there, and then another 70 to come down in the middle. So it's 210 hoppers, which means I need over 1,000 iron, and I've only got just under 2 stacks of blocks, and I don't think that's quite enough. So, I think, also I wanted to mention I've got a beacon now. I didn't show that on camera, but I've got a beacon. I'm doing okay with diamonds, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I don't have enough iron to do that, so I think instead what I'm going to do is Cee Dubb had brought me, and I think everyone on the server, he went out and found a ice spike biome, got a whole bunch of packed ice, and just gave it to us all. He's an awesome dude. So thank you, Cee Dubb, for that. We'll be using that. I hesitate to do that, though, because in order to make the system with a dropper, you have to have like a platform of redstone, and it's not really going to look good, but there's not a whole lot I can do to get around that. So that's just the way it's going to be. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and start, I think, preparing to put this in. So I actually need to get my redstone box out. I don't think I have a lot of hoppers in here. I have 2, so that's not going to be enough. Let me move this over here so I can still access these other boxes. The other thing I was thinking of is in the season 1 farms that I built, if you guys remember, I had 3 of these. And after a night of AFK, you could get a decent amount of iron, but I'm not sure that doubling that is going to be enough. I mean, this thing, once it's up and running, is going to be running constantly. That's why we're building it in the spawn chunks. That's why we moved the spawn chunks out here. So I'm thinking I guess we'll just start with 8. And if we need to build more, we can build more, because these aren't terribly difficult to build. They just take a little bit of time. The hardest part is still yet to come, of course. We're going to have to move the villagers into all these little pods, but I'm thinking maybe I can get somebody to come out and help me with that. But for right now, I just want to get it structurally complete. So I am going to make some hoppers. Hopefully I have enough wood to make all the chests I'm going to need. And and I'll come back to you guys. Right, so we're up under here, and I think I've got all the stuff I'm going to need. So what we're going to do, the killing mechanism I've decided to use, is just plain old, simple lava. And that's probably the easiest to do, and nothing you guys haven't seen, I'm sure. But we're going to come down by 3 blocks, like this. And then, wow, I kind of eyeballed that pretty good. I'm right at the bottom here. Okay, not a problem. I'm actually going to need to get up there, I think. So, well. I'll break that. I'll come up here like this. Okay. And then, ooh. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll grab some signs. Place a sign here, a sign here, a sign here, and a sign here. And then lava bucket. Now, these guys are just shy of 3 blocks tall. I think the wiki says they're 2.7 blocks tall. So, when they're standing in here, their heads are going to be in the lava blade, and they will die. I've tried a couple different ways to kill these guys, and this is by far the best. Just because, yeah, they don't really take a lot of fall damage. They don't. You can't drown them, things like that. So this is probably the best. You could hook up a crusher to it, I suppose, and that could work also. But I figure we'll just do this because it's easy. So we'll hop back up here. Now, being very careful not to jump into the lava myself, we'll go ahead and start hooking up all of our hoppers. So there we go there. And now that is going to be all we should need to do for that. Go ahead and fill that back in. We're going to need to replace this block here with a dropper that's going to put the items into the ice path thing that we're going to be building. But before we do that, I need to go sleep. Okay, so I just went and checked the recording time, and we're definitely running long. I actually cut out a few minutes of me talking about building all this stuff, so we'll just go over it real quick to show you guys what's going on. So I've got this area sorted out now. I've got hoppers going into this dropper down here, and this is the same setup as I use in my item elevators, only instead of the dropper pointing up into a 3x3 of solid blocks, I've got it pointed sideways into this water stream. And real quick, in case you guys don't know how this works, because it came to my attention that maybe some people don't, this comparator on subtract mode, it will put out a signal strength based on what it's comparing, which in this case is the dropper. And on subtract mode, I believe if this strength, it like subtracts the strength of this from the backside, and it outputs the difference. So in this case, since it's only getting 1 from here, and we have a repeater in front of it, it's got, what does that give it, like 15 or something? So it'd be like 15, 14, 13, 12. Basically, it's like 1 minus 12 is 0, so it'll turn off. But at the same time, it'll be powering that block, which will be powering the dropper. So whenever an item goes into there, you will see this will blink on, and then it will blink off because the dropper will push it out. Right, so that's real basically how that works, and I use these a lot because I build a lot of this type of thing with item elevators and whatnot. So this is pushing it out into a long ice path, and it comes along all the way out here, and I've already built the same thing over here, and then it comes to these hoppers, and there's another one of those dropper setups under here, and it's actually, you can see the redstone back there, and then it's going to push this out into the middle, and of course I've got the exact same thing way on the other side, and as you can see there. So that is basically it for the iron farms. I've got to obviously connect these up into some kind of storage system, which is going to be over in this area here. And yeah, we've obviously still got to move some villagers up into there, and I'm pretty sure this is broken. I'm gonna have to remove the doors on this one, probably on this one as well, just so that we can keep these guys moving. But yeah, unfortunately, that is all the time I've got for today's episode, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why don't you leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about the iron farms. Maybe if you think we're gonna need more, I'm thinking we might. But yeah, until next time, you guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.